Collin, do you actually want to do the intro this time? Do you want to do it? I always do it. Do you want to do it?
No.
Okay. Welcome back to the Tu-Vie podcast, your TV movie entertainment needs podcast. I am your host, James, and the attempted host, now co-host, Collin, our resident comic expert. He's always here. He's there. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really tired. That's why I have this nice, fresh. Oh, see, we have two different drinks today. How you doing?
Yep.
You come back on coffee or something? You used to have coffee almost every episode.
Yeah, it just mm, upset my stomach like coffee in the mornings.
Well, that's kind
Yeah.
of its magical works, man. It upsets your stomach and gets you moving. But we're not here to talk about coffee. We're here to talk about the biggest things that were kind of going on this last week. We got some new news on Beetlejuice 2, which I'm actually personally super excited about. A new cameo for Deadpool 3, Knives Out 3, Dreamcast, and the return to cable. So let's get into it. I wanted to talk about this real quick because we were literally just talking about it before we hit record. Spider-Man Mondays, this past Monday, not the episodes Monday we're going to be releasing. That's going to be Far From Home. We're talking about Homecoming. That was the one you guys you didn't go to the theater for the third movie in a row. You decided to stay home and watch.
Second movie in a row.
Oh, you did see TASM 2 in theaters. That's right,
We
because
did
you said
Phantasm.
that was because it was your girlfriend's first time seeing it.
Yep.
How was that again?
Uh, a lot better than we remembered. I think
Really?
because what's cool about those movies, except for TASM 1, because it just was like very dark and dull.
Oh.
Like what we talked about before, it's like Sony wanted to do like the Dark Knight trilogy, but for Spider-Man because that was a trend. Man of Steel did it, Spider-Man was doing it. Like you notice that a lot of the movies were trying to emulate the magic of Christopher Nolan Batman movies, but what they also don't understand is that they are the way they are because of the character of Batman, not because like aesthetically that's what everyone wanted, which is why there was such a huge pushback for Superman and Man of Steel. But to get back on point, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I'd say like looks wise, like it is the best looking Spider-Man movie in all
Hmm.
of the Spider-Man movies. The costume, the colors, it's just so bright, it's fun.
Yeah.
Just the only thing is that there are so many plot lines that could make like three more Spider-Man movies that they crammed into one movie.
Like what?
But it just was, oh my God,
It's
dude.
been a while since I've seen Far Homecoming.
The Peter Parker's parents that are spies.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
have
I
the
thought you were talking about Homecoming. I'm so sorry. Okay, TASM 2. That makes more sense. Sorry, I blanked out for a minute. You're right. Yes, they could have done so many other different stories.
yeah. But like just so many storylines in that movie, but it was a lot of fun. I got a hot take. I got another one, but I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is more watchable than the Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Shut up. No, no,
Yeah.
no. We were
Yeah.
just dogging on the movie last episode.
Yeah, but it's also I came around to it. I came around to it. Again, it's a hot
Around
take, but
what?
it's not even the hot take I was going to talk about.
That wasn't. Hold
Yeah.
on. Hold on. Hold on. 3 weeks ago, we were talking about how bad that movie is. We were talking
Yeah.
about and quoting you because you asked me last episode what is like the most memorable lines of TASM. We only had one, which was poor Peter Parker with the very wet at the end of every single thing. And then
Hmm.
we mainly talked about TASM 2 has better lines that are more memorable, at least. But what? Because we know that
Yeah.
kid moment where he's fixing his turbine and then the kid saves the day at the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful moment, but
The thing is that like that Amazing Spider-Man movie, the second one, TASM 2, it has a combination of it's like that spider it's literally the Spider-Man 3 of the Amazing Spider-Man movies where it has the best Spider-Man moments you'll ever see in any other Spider-Man movie, but also some of the funniest, if not worst, like literally,
we said them all last week.
yeah,
Also,
we said
I
them
went
all.
back this week and found that scene where they're talking at the ferry or whatever with Harry and Peter. I did
That's the
catch that
question.
Yeah, I caught that Brooklyn accent now that since you brought it up. I never caught it before.
My dad left me a briefcase, just a briefcase full of
Full of
junk.
junk.
I don't know. I try not to think about it.
That's where I heard it. When you said it, I was like, "There's no way." Right? Yeah, evidently.
But like you have like the Spider-Man suit, you have the swinging, which I just
Oh, the
learned that
swinging is.
like the animators who were working on the swinging actually they calculated they did math to accurately show like what it would look like if he was swinging around.
Really? Like they actually like that
That's
brief
what, yeah,
moment in Homecoming where he does the equation for momentum.
we're still watching Spider-Man 2.
I
Or we're
know,
still
but no, no,
talking
I'm
about
saying no,
Spider.
I'm saying in Homecoming where he does that equation for momentum, they actually did that for the full movie of TASM 2. I'm saying it's interesting to see that brief moment we saw in Homecoming of Peter doing the math of momentum. They actually did that for a CG character. I thought it was interesting.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying,
Well,
it's interesting they took the fiction into real life like that. Like that's kind of interesting. That wasn't worded properly. That's not you. That's me.
yeah. Yeah, sure. So I'm trying to follow, but I'm
No, I'm
like,
just trying to say it's interesting how they actually took the time to
yeah,
calculate the momentum and everything for
I know.
for a
I
fictional
know.
character, like how
Yes.
Peter did.
Yes. Um, and I lost my train of thought.
You were saying it's
Uh,
interesting how they actually did the momentum for Peter Parker as he was swinging.
yes. And the best moments in that movie is like the swinging the suit, the relationship between Peter and Emma, Peter and Gwen. You also have seriously some of the best Aunt May moments you'll ever see. Just like really fun, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man stuff that is done accurate. Like this entire movie was not only course correcting, but it also was overcorrecting because it was a huge commercial for Sony's Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
And so you just had like a bunch of Easter eggs shoehorned in the Sinister Six, all the Oscorp files.
Felicia.
Peter was like destined, yeah, and Peter was like destined to get bit by that spider because he used Peter's blood. You also have Harry Osborn that's like, I need his blood. Like just some like really goofy stuff. And the Rhino, which like you could have like the Rhino was on the poster and in the marketing more than the actual movie,
It was
which is
essentially the Madam
insane.
Web of the other three characters in Madam Web.
Nowhere
No,
close
their
to
time
Madam
in
Web is its
trailers. No, no,
own.
hold on, their time in trailers and ads were more than the actual screen time they had in their costumes.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and but like that movie was great, but to get back on track, I mean, it's not a good movie, but you can have fun with it, and even when it gets bad, you can still tease it and make fun of it if you're a Spider-Man fan.
I
I
will say the suit is I think is a saving grace.
Yeah, because I asked Emily, I was like, "How did you like the movie?" She was like, "Honestly, like it wasn't that bad. Like I've never seen that movie before." Um, and you know, we had fun with it. She wasn't crazy about it, but it was like we had enjoyment. It was fun,
That's fun that you guys
and
had that. You know.
that was also I'd say like just because I watched it with her in theaters for
Hmm.
like half, and then like we had to finish it another day because she had work in the morning.
Hmm.
And I told her, I was like, hey, this is gonna be the longest Spider-Man movie you've ever seen. She was like, no, it's not. And I was like, sweetheart, we're not even halfway done, and we're at the Electro prison scene. She was like, really? I
Oh
thought it
my
was almost
gosh, that
over. I was
wasn't
like,
even halfway.
no, it wasn't.
How long is this movie? Hold on, I gotta pull that. It's a
It's like
2 hour
2 hours.
20. It's almost a two.
Yeah,
That movie is as long as War for the Planet of the Apes.
I was gonna say they're hitting Martin Scorsese numbers.
They're about to because it's a 2 hour and 22 minute movie. And Dane DeHaan, who did play Harry, I did like that version of Harry. I'm gonna be honest. That
No,
version I didn't hate as much because I thought he brought pretty boy, like rich pretty boy attitude.
it's
Better
just
than
when he gets
Franco.
crazy. It's just when he gets crazier, turns into the Goblin. Like anytime he talks, I'm like, oh no. But
If he
like
didn't
the
talk,
look
that'd be different.
isn't terrible. Like he does look, he looks bad, but that's the point.
Yeah, he
You
did
know,
look grotesque. I liked that look. And the
I'm
guy
not
that
the biggest fan of the costume though. Like the suit that
the
he's wearing.
yeah, no, it was too techno. Like it was too I don't
It
know.
because it
You were
was
saying?
supposed to be like a self-healing suit, which I'm like,
Yeah.
that's convenient. Um, you know, because he's dying.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
will
oh,
say though,
dude,
there
you're right.
it's very pretty. It's a very pretty movie. The cinematography looks really good. This like
Yeah.
the parts where he's swinging around, dodging Electro in at the power plant.
Yeah.
Really well done.
All
But
right.
yeah,
But
your homecoming one. Bring it. Sorry.
I was watching it with Emily, and she said something that clicked because I never really liked the look of the movie,
Oh,
like the homecoming.
okay.
So like you know how like somebody points something out to you, and it's like you know that Sheldon Cooper thing where it's like Amy was like, well, the movie never really needed to happen
Oh, with Raiders?
Because if Indiana just let the Nazis get the skull, they would have just died anyways. And then Sheldon's like, you ruined my movie.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. That's my favorite bit from Big Bang Theory is when she ruins Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So we were watching it, and then she was like, hey, this is like the only Spider-Man movie where I can tell Disney made it. I'm like, what do you
Well,
mean?
what does that mean?
And then, well, you watch that movie, you can tell Disney made that
I mean, yeah,
movie.
there's a difference in quality for sure. It's very I don't know, like
Because
there's a lot of movies.
the
Yeah.
swinging is bad. The CGI is bad, especially with the suit as well. You can really, really tell where it's CGI and where it's not. The high schoolisms is very kiddie, and Ned is annoying.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I can handle everything else, but you go for my dog Ned.
I can't
Those are
stand.
fighting words.
I have a nitpick where it's like anytime like the main character is like, oh, I had to do something very dangerous. I had to jump off a bridge and jump into a plane, and you know, I almost got killed by this. And his goofy sidekick character goes, awesome. I hate that stuff.
Okay, it's different when like Disney Channel characters have done it, but that's interesting. For this one, they made it better because Ned, his whole thing is he's more obsessed that his best friend is Spider-Man than hit the fact that his life was on the line. Because that's why during classes he was like, "Can a spider bite me too? Do you lay eggs? Do you shoot webs out of your butt? If you just shoot
Oh,
your web as far as it goes, have you tested how
we
far it
did
goes?"
not like Ned at all.
Oh,
It was like this dude's
we.
annoying.
No, your girlfriend didn't like Ned. You're just getting it on. Oh, you're a bandwagon.
I'm
Mm-mm.
not a bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
It literally like okay, Tom Holland as Spider-Man is awesome. I would have preferred him to not only have like maybe a less annoying friend character, but also like I don't know, keep it a secret for like maybe another movie where it's just like he kind of comes around and he tells Ned, not have it just be one of these like, you know, oh, do you shoot webs out of your dick or some shit? I don't know.
No, that's
And
Jack Black from the MTV Awards.
and like and also we're not
Ugh.
even in this movie, but like I really do like that moment with like Aunt May where she is freaking out and she was like, cut the shit. Tell me
Mm,
what's going on. You know,
yeah,
like
that's a
where
great moment
like
with Marissa Tomei.
it's great, but
Yeah.
I also know where it's gonna go from there. And I'm like, oh no.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this: when you first saw Homecoming, did you or did you not like Ned?
I thought he was funny. Yeah.
Okay. And when you first watched Homecoming, so here's the difference here. I think going in with has your girlfriend seen the movie beforehand before this?
I I don't know how many of them
So let's
she's
just say for now
seen
it's
or
fresh
remember.
eyes. Let's say it's fresh eyes for the sake of conversation. Going into did she see the other ones? Like Far From
The
Home,
other
No Way
ones from
Home.
before,
No, No Way Home, Far From Home.
I don't know about Far From Home. I know No Way Home, yeah.
Okay, so when you go into the expectation of No Way Home, and the only thing you know is that Ned is his good friend, he and MJ are becoming a thing, and at the end he loses that. I'm sure that that's a good story, as that self-contained thing. But I don't know. I think Ned at the beginning was great, where it's like you have that one person that centers Peter is to like remind that he's still a kid. Now, Ned in that movie, yes, I'm not gonna lie, there were some parts where it was a little overdone, but it's like I think one moment that was I think I was like, well, he didn't have to say anything there. Like that was just a scene for
Are you
jokes.
talking about Peter No Spider-Man?
There, no, that was a moment I thought was funny. I can't remember it was like very small and subtle. It wasn't that big of a deal.
I
I think
was
it
like,
was during the
Ned.
scene where he was on the phone with Peter and he puts it on the conveyor belt. I'm like, what? Just step away from the thing. You didn't have to put it down, man.
Yeah.
So I think that was the one thing. But the whole point, like my favorite joke in that entire movie, I don't care how many times I've seen it, I will still laugh, is when the teacher turns on the
Yep.
lights and he's like, hey, there's a dance. what are you doing in here? And he goes, I was looking at porn. Like it's it's so delivered perfectly. And I think Jacob Batalon did a great job as Ned leading up to everything that's going on. And I hope in this new series, in the new trilogy,
It's nothing against the actor. It's just the character, how he was written.
I
I
totally
I
agree.
agree. I agree. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna dog on the actor. I mean, he's a from what I like from his the next couple of movies, like he definitely redeems himself in some areas.
Yeah,
And I mean, he did the bit like you said, like he delivered that line perfectly. He's a good choice to be in that universe.
yeah,
Just wish that they didn't like dumb him down to a point where he just was like super like he was kind of insufferable in some areas where it's like I kind of wish that like Peter was just alone in this scene
oh man,
so that I could, you
I
know,
get that there were some moments
understand
I wish he
I
was alone too.
understand it's a high school movie and I do appreciate getting a little bit more high school
Yeah,
like isms, but also like Marvel was like pumping out these movies like left and like Sony was just working on the one at a time every like 3 years. So like the movies did look better in quality.
yeah, they
Um,
did.
you know,
Because
because
Spider-Man 3's visuals look great. They look way better than what they did in the first one, just because of time.
are you talking about like actual Spider-Man 3 or No Way Home?
Actual like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3, like in terms
Oh,
of
yeah.
color, it looks much brighter. Now, some quality,
Yeah.
don't go there. But like in terms of
The
like
writing, yeah.
color and stuff like that, yeah. But like color and stuff like that, it looks better just because I think those movies had higher
And
expectation, higher budget.
the thing is that like what's really weird is that a lot of the writing in the Marvel movies are a lot better than their actual quality of how they look. With
Yeah,
Sony's, it's like it's gonna look amazing, but it's gonna be unwatchable.
yeah, yeah. And to we're kind of repeating what we did the last three episodes. We got to cut down the spider stuff, but just to wrap it up with one thing from you, I think.
We had to stop watching it though.
You guys have watched it. Well, it's good. The next two episodes are gonna be the same thing because you're seeing the next two as well. So it's like Spider Mondays have been a recurring thing. But like we
I know.
talked last episode, that what do we say?
We really
You
miss Toby and Andrew.
well, that's what the last movie is gonna be, and I'm probably just gonna watch that at home. I bought it years ago, but I think with Homecoming, Ned had to be funny like that because, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a lot of high
And
schoolisms that the last
I
two didn't
also
get.
don't just want to focus on Ned. Like he's
Oh,
not because I feel like because like the thing is that it's not just Ned. We were
all right,
just
go
on
quick.
that
What
point
else?
for a while. No,
Go
I'm
quick.
not gonna go on it. I'm just gonna like I want to make it clear for this episode so we're not
Well,
rewatching it.
I
I'm
thought
going
you meant like that was like the
to
hot take that
sound
you
like
had more hot takes.
well, yeah, I did, but we were also focusing on Ned too much and be like, but Jacob's feelings. It's
No, I
like
know.
no,
No,
the
no, we're not
character.
dogging on. No. I love Jacob, and I
Yeah,
disagree with what you're saying.
like
But give me one more hot take before we go to the next topic, because I'm
uh
curious.
yeah. Well, again, it's just that like literally, it's just the not getting like the Spider-Man like swinging and look and vibe. And I'm not even on the point of like him like being over like techno like because I'll be honest like I believe in a Spider-Man that makes his own suit. And
Mm.
he did and it was terrible, but also like
Wait,
the homemade homecoming suit obviously it's like gonna be
I thought it
bad.
looked kind of good.
God, well, let me just finish this. And like, but like, I really hate like the fact that like he's given like this suit of like, it's talking to him. It's very like techno, and it's like I would feel better him having that suit if like movies down the line he made it himself, like Insomniac Spider-Man, where it took place. It was the first video game, but it took place 8 years into his career where he did grow and could get this knowledge and intellect to make something like this. And I kind of would have preferred like it basically being that like he's an underdog who can do these amazing things, make this amazing suit, have like allies that would help him, but not too much. But like in moments where it's like, hey, I'm pushed up against the wall right now, I could actually use a hand to tap me in, and then boom. But like it's just very kiddie, like, oh, I'm given this, like I have taser whips, I have 500 different combinations. Karen, what do I do with Liz?
I don't know.
And
I thought the
basically,
whole Karen thing with Liz was neat, but I do agree that it was over techno. I don't disagree with that
yeah,
because the home trilogy, in my opinion, has been realizing that he doesn't need to be a young Tony Stark, but he needs to be Peter, and that's what I think that trilogy was setting up. It was setting up that yes, he is Spider Man, but he was a Spider-Man with the intent of becoming the next Tony Stark in his own way because he wanted to be like Tony Stark. And in the second movie, everyone was thinking he is going to be the next Tony Stark, but he didn't want that. And in the third movie, he realized he had to be Spider-Man, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that lives in a
Yeah.
crappy apartment, sews his own suit. And when I thought you meant homemade suit, I thought you meant the last one from No Way Home, which looks so good. Which
Solely talking about Homecoming.
yeah, and that made more sense. I kind of liked it because it kind of reminded me of Ben Riley's Spider-Man suit with the sweatshirt on top. That's just
No,
where I
it's
got
very
from.
deliberate. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, I was just making a point where it's like obviously his first suit
yeah,
is gonna be paler in comparison to the other
yes,
suits he's gonna get. Like, just that's what
no,
I
I get
meant.
you.
Like,
And
it's
then
not a
the Iron
bad.
Spider, I don't like the Iron
We've
Spider
all
look.
we all spent a couple hours wearing
No,
that
no,
suit in the Insomniac Spider-Man game.
yeah,
Like, let's be.
yeah. But I also just don't like the Iron Spider in this one. It felt, it didn't feel as right. I didn't hate the color scheme. It looked fine, but I would have
It's,
much preferred the red and gold from Infinity War.
oh, okay. All right. I was like, oh yeah, wait, no, they did show him a little. They had concept art of
They
that,
did,
and they didn't do it.
they did,
What
and
the
they.
hell?
It's like
That
I,
sucks.
I I get that it's a different suit. It's a totally different color scheme. There's no red, there's no blue. It's red and gold. I get it. I
Just
think that
uglier.
yeah. The thing is, I think the reason why they didn't do red and gold is because it would have been too reminiscent of Iron Man. That's my thing. I think that's the reason why they did it because they wanted to avoid him actually being seen as the young Iron Man. So I don't hate that idea, but that's what I firmly believe is the reason why they didn't do it.
Yeah,
There's
but
just
it
no answer as
also,
to why.
but and the last thing,
Yeah.
wouldn't it also be kind of cool though? Like if they did keep the red and gold, where it's like, he just has it. It looks right. It is the Iron Spider. Tony has been trying to indoctrinate him into his little circle for a while because based off that little moment in like Endgame where he was looking at the picture of Peter, like he kept that photo.
Yeah.
He thought about everything just to make sure this kid was okay. He was
Yeah.
destroyed when he died. Well,
Yeah.
he thought he died. Like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if, like, in Far From Home, when like he's wearing that like red and gold one that from Civil War comics, that concept art we're talking about, like that reporter be like, "So are you gonna be the next Iron Man?" And like he's just like he's kind of looking at himself where he's like, "Yeah, I understand why they're asking me these
See, that
questions
would have been a
because
great way to do it. See, that would have been a
yeah,
great way to do it because I think if like the suit they showed at the end of Far From Home, if it was the red and gold one, I think that would have been way better because that is almost of him being like, "You want to be the next Iron Man," and he pulls away, goes, "No, I want to stick to being the friendly neighborhood." And then he gets the one that he got in Infinity War, doesn't necessarily work well or gets broken because of Thanos. Wears the red and gold one for a bit and then has that epiphany in Far From Home. That would have hit home way easier, way
yeah,
harder. But I don't know. I get what you're saying. It does look the most Disney made. Not gonna disagree. There are some moments where the 3D the CGI background doesn't blend in well, like they did for No Way Home because they shot it during the pandemic. Which frankly, I would have preferred the movie being delayed and it shoot on location than just creating the CGI background like Flash at that party.
oh no, dude, Lizard.
Oh yeah. Well, he couldn't come back. They had to do the whole CG character. They got him back for the voice. Now,
I
Hayden
know, but when you're
turned.
talking about delays though,
I
like
know.
spend a little bit more time,
Yeah.
not having him have like the cartoon like triangle shark teeth. You know what I'm talking
No, I
about?
know, I know what you mean. The polygons were not fully there, but Hayden as Sandman looked good. That was good. Look, that was better.
Yeah, yeah, it is kind of easier to like CGI sand particles because it's all just random whenever
Yeah,
like you know,
not a full being. That's like I don't know. It was weird. Moving
yeah,
on to everything else. One quick thing before we go. Walt Disney Animation is reportedly doing a new 2D animation project, and I know Cameron can't be here. He's on a much-needed vacation. But damn, is that not good news?
should have been the new Mufasa origin story. I'll be honest with you.
I don't understand why they're doing that. The guy who did make the movie said he's very proud of it, and that's great. I'm happy for him, but I might watch it. I don't like the Lion King live action movie was fine. It was the same movie in live action. Same thing with the Jungle Book, but somehow that one's a little better.
Have you noticed a lot of the new Disney movies that are coming out? A lot of the reactions are, I might watch it.
Yeah, and I think we're not gonna get into this
Disney's
whole.
still on top, man.
Well, so here's my thing. Everyone says Disney used to be this, every Disney used to be that. I don't disagree. Disney was on top for the longest time. But I think, like, well, this will be quick. Like what they did for Marvel. or not Marvel, they did for Marvel, but what Marvel was doing for themselves, it was the pandemic. There was a big pause where no movies were basically coming out on theaters for a long time, and they put a lot of the movies they had to streaming services. Not Marvel, this is Disney, but Marvel then tried playing catch up when COVID was essentially decreasing, and they had Black Widow come out, and that movie was fine. You know, as a movie as a whole, it's pretty fine, but I think as a Marvel movie, it doesn't make sense because there's no sense of danger. We know Black Widow survives. It's a cool story, and it's an interesting way to introduce more characters, but there was no sense of danger, which is my only problem with that whole movie because it takes away so much. But then Disney releasing Onward, Soul, Luca, Turning Red, all on Disney Plus. All of those movies are great. I love those movies. They're truly great. I think Turning Red is the funniest Pixar movie, and
Yeah.
Soul is up there with my top five. It was so beautiful.
Onward, daddy
I
issues.
Yeah, Colin only grew up with half a dad. It was just he was actually the waist part up, so he kind of yeah
I
he
grew
gets
up
it.
with half the amount of parents,
Yeah,
past 17.
more like a quarter because you had the mom. The mom was fine. The dad was only half, so it was like the
I have
quarter
like one
missing.
fourth now. We have
Oh,
them. We keep them in a little vial. I have three of them.
okay, yeah. But then they also gave them a chance to be put in theaters for a little bit, and they made some cash, not a lot, but
Yeah.
I also know they did the 100th anniversary. They put some movies back in theaters like Toy Story, Lion King, a lot of great movies. The Incredibles. I saw that in the theaters. That was super cool. I was the only person in the theater, but the thing, well, it was like a 2 o'clock showing, so I'm not, saying they didn't lose money there, but
What day of the week?
it was like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Wednesday at 2. I didn't expect a big full crowd. The whole point is I think Disney tried to play catch up like Marvel did, and it didn't work well. They needed to stop, take the break, and then make these movies big events. Because imagine if Soul had a big marketing campaign where it's like, what's your purpose? And they had a whole thing like they used to do with different stations, like, what's your this? What's your like, what's your basic emotion, like they did for Inside Out? So, like, what's your purpose would be great. It would inspire a lot of people, which is what the point of the movie is.
Drinking.
The point is, I think Disney tried playing catch up so much that they shot themselves in the foot, and now they feel like they have to be back to where they were instead of just gradually climbing.
Yeah. They're doing that with their Marvel movies now, which is
They are,
good.
which is great. And they're also
Uh,
planning to do that with their animation projects too.
so with them making their first 2D animated movie, and I can't even remember.
I think the last one was Princess
Princess
and the
and the Frog.
Frog. Yeah, let me look up
That was
that.
in 2009, eight maybe.
No.
Yeah.
No way. Oh my
That long.
God. That was 2009.
Yeah.
What? That seems like I thought it was like 2012 or something. No way, man. That movie's so long ago.
Feel old yet?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, aside from the fact that my niece and nephews are getting older, which was like how old I felt then. 2009, man. Oh, Oprah Winfrey was in the movie. Did you know that? She plays Eudora.
The old witch.
No, that's Mama Ori,
Hmm.
and she's not a witch.
She was doing some witch shit.
Nah, that also Dr. Facilier as Keith David. Ooh,
Bum 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 bum
easily
bum
the best
bum
song in the
bum
whole, one of the best
bum.
songs in the whole movie. So
Yeah.
good. I'm actually excited for the Splash Mountain ride. It looks good, but the whole point, they're
Okay,
doing more
so
projects. I'm excited.
are they opening up a new animation studio for like 2D, or are they? It's just going to be like in the same.
No, I think it's the same studios, but I think since they did shut down the 2D department long ago, I think it's just going to be their 3D department just in a 2D setting. One.
Oh,
When did Disney
well,
shut
at
down?
least you know, and they're gonna be they're worrying about quality, so they let go of 30% of the Pixar studio. That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah, they laid off a lot of
That's
people
weird.
at Pixar, which it's not great because they've lost a ton of money. And in 2013, by the way, the studio was no longer developing hand-drawn animated features as a result of the 3D computer being more profitable. So they had laid off a lot of their hand-drawn animation division at that point in 2013. That's 4 years after The Princess and the Frog came out.
Yeah, what a terrible mistake. They could do both.
That was a great movie, by the way. When's the last time you watched Princess and the Frog?
Uh, Probably a couple years ago. I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
from time to time, whenever I remember that song of like boom, boom, I just pull up the clip. I'm just like, yeah, it's a cool clip.
Yeah. Great song. In
Yeah.
2013, Frozen, Monsters University, and those are the two like Disney Pixar. So Disney, Frozen, Pixar, Monsters University were out in 2013. By that time, apparently they were shutting down the 2D animation as the 3D part was becoming more profitable, and those movies were very popular. Monster University not as popular as Frozen. Frozen being their, I mean, that was their top dog forever.
Yeah.
But I think them going back to 2D projects would be great because I felt like Wish gave a little bit of 2D vibes, like a little bit of watercolor background 2D animation. Did you watch Wish?
Barely remember Wish.
It came out this last year.
I know. Barely remember it.
Okay. It's fine. It was, it's cute for a Disney movie, but it's fine. But the animation felt very different than 3D, and so I
That's
hope
the
that
one where all the stars are different universes of Disney movies, right?
I oh no. I know what you're thinking of. There was characters in that movie that represented different Disney characters. Like one guy was like Peter Pan and the different friends around Aisha, I think her name was. Were the seven dwarves. There was the poison apple from Snow White. So there was a lot of different things that represented Disney characters. It was like the beginning of it was said the origins
Multiverse
of
of that.
fantasy character. Well, there was it was like the origins of different Disney characters, which I guess made sense in a way, but either way, it was a fine movie. It wasn't terrible. I didn't like Chris Pine singing, but
I don't
it was
think
better than
Chris
Dwayne
Pine
Johnson.
is fine singing,
Yeah, well, it was better than Dwayne Johnson's.
except for his Christmas album and Into the Spider Verse.
Ah,
That's
yes.
real. You can
I
watch.
know.
You can listen to that.
I
He
listen to
drops
Spidey Bells
Venom.
every year.
He drops Venom in there,
Also,
and
Venom.
Venom.
Gonna get that Venom for Quickbird.
You imagine if he just randomly did that? You know, I was fighting Green Goblin and then Sandman and Venom.
That's a great mix. Someone's gonna make that. If
Someone's
if
got to
if you're
do that.
listening and you're good with music, if you're good with music mixing, mix in Spidey Bells and then the Venom with Eminem and send it to us,
Just
please.
remix, just remix that. Like it's just like he goes Venom, and then it just pauses, and then you just hear like the knocking. He's like knock knock, let the devil, and then it just goes directly into
Yeah,
Eminem.
I would love that mix. It'd be perfect.
Can't
To
wait
get,
for R-rated Venom movie.
I know it's gonna be good. Seth Rogen's making
Hopefully,
that one.
hopefully, I really,
I
I
trust
know.
Rogen.
I know it's gonna be funny, but also it's like if you're gonna make Venom a little bit of a goofball, you need to have a dark sense of humor.
I agree, but I think Rogen and his Venom movie is gonna be good. And
It's gonna be great.
before the main topic, quickly, I want to do the Knives Out casting. So we got Knives Out 3 released this week. Well, not released. Sorry, announced this week. Wake Up, Dead Man, and Knives Out Story. Pretty good title for a book. That's kind of like how they're making these movies, almost like they're like murder mystery titles, and I like it. So Wake Up, Dead Man, and we have, of course, Benoit Blanc, Daniel Craig coming back for the third installment. Colin, you and I were tasked to create the five people, basically like the new cast.
Okay.
There's been zero announced yet of who's actually coming back besides Daniel Craig, and usually about six people is how they've done it, maybe eight or nine. So I thought five would be a good addition to Daniel Craig. So Daniel Craig's the basic one. Who are the five you want to see in the next movie?
Okay. Andrew Garfield, Willem Dafoe.
Wow.
Yeah, we got ourselves some heavy hitters.
Okay.
Bryan Cranston.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to see Bryan Cranston back.
Wow.
Like I'm literally a little kid that's like, it's like I want that guy. And I like that guy.
You're
That guy
pointing
shot the
toys in the
lamb.
aisle. Yeah.
Yeah. And man, why am I blanking? Oh, sorry. Zendaya. Zendaya. Gotta
So
get
Willem
Zendaya.
Dafoe, Andrew Garfield, Bryan Cranston, Zendaya. So who's the fifth?
The fifth one, and you wouldn't believe, is R. Kelly. No, I'm kidding. It's sorry, that was for me.
Stupid ass.
Keep him. It's literally
Yeah.
the Rock. It's literally the Rock and the Vin Diesel, like sort of
Oh,
like fighting, where it's like they couldn't film on the same
it's
set.
so stupid. Oh my god. Did you hear about The
Oh
Rock
my!
recently about him being like 5 hours late to Red One, the Santa Claus movie that's coming out next year with Chris
What
Evans?
was it like a pattern or just like one time?
No, it was like a few times.
No. Yeah,
It's
that's kind
weird.
of yeah, because it's also that was his problem with Vin Diesel.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know what's going on. And then
Yeah.
who's your fifth?
Okay, so my fifth one is, and it's just for me. This one's just for me,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd like to see Toby back too.
Okay. Okay. So we got Goblin, two spiders, Mary Jane, and who was the last guy you picked?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. So we got Walter White in there. Cool, cool, cool. So I
Hey
want to read
Peter,
off
you want
Cameron's
to cook
because
meth?
I want to read off Cameron's real quick. So I had him send his in. His was Matthew McFadden or Faden. I think it's McFadden. From Succession, Greta Lee, Adam Driver, Dev Patel, and as well as you, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he gave that more thought because it's like I don't know like who because like I know that there's gonna be like a Knives Out 3,
Hmm.
but it's like honestly out of everybody else's like castings, I wanted to hear both of y'all's because mine would just be like me like I'm basically his Dave Filoni. I'm just playing with action figures.
Honestly, the way
But
Ryan
Andrew
Johnson's been making
Garfield
these
is
movies,
the serious one though.
yeah,
Like
oh yeah.
he does the work.
No, Bryan Cranston, I think, is also a good choice too, and
Yeah.
Willem.
No, I
None of
think
these people you said are bad choices. I get why you chose them, but I think they could all play well with each other. Like their chemistry is great.
yeah. But you could
So I
also take out Zendaya. She has so much money. She can stay out of Knives Out 3.
no, I feel
I
like she would do
I
great in
see
any other
her
murder
I see
movie.
her in a lot of stuff. Take a break. You already have your millions of dollars.
But I think she would be great in a Knives Out one. He also went on to say actors like Jacob Tremblay, Julie Louis Dreyfus, Steve Zahn, and Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins.
The ghoul from yeah.
Oh
By the way,
yeah.
did you know that Jacob Tremblay? I thought I maybe told you this or not. He played Robin in the Harley Quinn show. Did you know who
Like
Jacob Tremblay is?
like Damien?
Yeah, he played Damien, where he was a little kid and then he grew up. Yeah,
Huh.
and
I can't
he voiced Damien in the Harley Quinn show.
no, I know. I'm just like I'm trying because like he was so little.
He was young, yeah, and then he grew up and they brought him back for a few episodes. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, I know that one surprised me. And then my top five, I actually really I like sat down myself for about 20 minutes and thought about like this chessboard of actors I thought I could use. So mine were Steven Yeun, who you've heard recently in Invincible,
Yep. Beef.
Meryl Beef, yes, Meryl
Walking Dead.
Streep, Meryl Walking Dead. So
It's gonna
Meryl Streep,
list
yeah,
all
I
of
know,
it.
I know. Second one is Meryl Streep. I thought she'd be great in a Knives Out movie. Divine Joy Randolph, who was recently in The Holdovers. She was the cafeteria lady.
Ah, I like her.
Yeah, she's great. Donald Glover.
Hey!
I thought after the success of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is a fantastic show, I need him to come back and do something like this. And then John Turturro. He played Carmine Falcone in The Batman.
Oh, what was I thinking of?
John C. Riley.
No, he was in Space Force. He was the doctor.
John Malkovich.
John Malkovich.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. John Malkovich would be kind of interesting as like I don't know, maybe some kind of angry butler.
Adam, who murdered this man right in front of us?
That's actually probably a line from the movie if he was actually in it. So good choice, man. But we have zero
You
clue.
betrayed me. I took your John Wayne swagger, but you are no John Wayne. You are Wayne John. Who? Wayne John. Wayne John.
Did you actually
I
like Space
worked with
Force?
him in IBM. He stole pencils. My pencils.
Did you
If you had
watch Space Force?
love Space Force.
I genuinely I did not like it,
I thought it was so funny.
dude. Seriously, could not watch it.
It's John Malkovich that just makes it so much better. And seriously,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off. I
No,
just
it's
wanted
fine. That's
to
totally
talk
fine.
about
It's I
Malkovich.
just didn't think you'd actually like the show Space Force because it wasn't good. But on to the main topic.
That's
I
fine.
thought it's not good. I just generally cannot
Um,
like it. The bigger thing that we talked about briefly a few episodes back, I think, we're having a big return to cable. So over these last month, we've had three pretty big announcements, and you can check them all on our Instagram or TikTok and Instagram, and we post some things there. So, but I wanted to cover it here as this has just been one giant loop back to cable. So Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max aim to bundle a service out this summer potentially. And we just got the big Hulu Disney merger like a month and a half ago. There was a big thing about it. And now that's going to be just gone and have one service with HBO Max, Disney, and Hulu out potentially this summer, or if at least summer by 25.
So like it's just like it's three services: HBO Max, Hulu, and Disney. No Amazon.
No, no, no. Amazon is still on its own. So it would just be one service like this next one, which is Peacock, Netflix, and Apple Plus, titled Stream Saver at $15 a month. But there is a caveat to this one, and I got to try and pull it up real
Oh,
quick.
there always is. I can't wait to hear this caveat.
Well, so I
You're
thought
gonna need to
15.
go to a dentist to get rid of this caveat.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
So it says it will cost $15 a month, but of course, to get the bundle, subscribers will must already be an Xfinity Internet or TV customer. So which I believe is Spectrum. The release further shares that StreamSaver, the name of the subscription, includes a subscription to Netflix standard with ads, Peacock Premium, and Apple TV, delivering a savings of over 30% or nearly $100 a year. So if you got Xfinity on Spectrum, you're going to be getting this thing with ads on Netflix, Premium Peacock, which I don't think has ads, and then Netflix and Apple TV, which definitely doesn't have ads, other than the own shows they have. So there's like self-serving. But what?
So if you only have Spectrum,
Yeah, that is the only way I think you can get it at 15 a month. I think the whole thing itself is going to cost, I don't know, $30 a month then.
so Hulu's, Netflix, and
No,
Disney's
sorry,
is
that's a different thing. So Peacock, Netflix, Apple TV Plus is Stream Saver. Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max is a separate thing altogether.
I know.
That's the
So
two.
that would be just $15 standard
If you have Xfinity or a TV provider.
for Disney.
No, for the Peacock.
No, but what's the price for the Disney
That
Hulu?
hasn't been announced yet. The only thing that's been announced is that they're doing their aim to bundle a streaming service out by this summer, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's going to happen next year. They haven't. There's been no spoken word about that yet. The only thing that's been given price and a title is Peacock, Netflix, Apple TV. That is Stream Saver. But at the same time, this is the new thing with Disney, as they, I believe, sold the rights not that long ago to, maybe majority, maybe not all the rights, but I think they sold some stuff from ESPN. So now WB, ESPN, and Fox are combining together to join a sports streaming service called Venue. It's an all sports streaming service.
Cool. I love it. Dude, hey, you play b-ball?
You asking me if I play basketball?
Yeah,
No, I'm terrible.
yeah, me too. I don't
I
like sports.
I really,
Um,
I mean, I like watching F1, but that's only
but
because
that's really good. Good for Disney to sell that stuff.
you're actually on board with this.
I don't know.
I mean, like, I just feel like that's kind of insane. Like, they just did this whole thing and the streaming wars, and the whole thing is that streaming killed the TV star. And so now with it's like, what are we doing? Is we're just going back to cable.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It's
Like
so weird.
we reverted back to our old ways.
I guarantee you, Blockbuster's coming back with a vengeance.
Blockbuster comes back with its own streaming service.
Because I don't know if you know this. That'd be funny. I don't know if you know this. Netflix reached out to Blockbuster to, I think, join, like, to do a merger. Did you know this?
Yeah, that would be cool. No, I
No,
didn't
they
know that.
did. Before Blockbuster got shut down, Netflix went to them and they said, "Hey, you want to partner up?" But Blockbuster was being a dick. They were so cocky, like, "What? We're like the biggest thing on the planet. No, we're fine. We don't need you."
There should be a movie about Blockbuster.
There is. It's on Netflix. That's how. Oh, you.
Like an actual
I know.
movie.
I'm sorry. I know. I know. It's the most ironic thing ever. I think it was Kevin Smith that led this documentary. He goes, like, I think the thing starts off with like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Smith," and yes, I know it's ironic. A blockbuster documentary on Netflix, or something like that. Like he called it out immediately within the first 10 minutes of the thing, and it was really well done because it was like showing the fact that Blockbuster was so popular. It was all over the U.S. Netflix wanted to join forces to become the biggest thing on the planet, but they were so cocky, they shut it down. They didn't want to listen to them, and now they're gone with only one store left in Portland, which I would love to go one day.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if Blockbuster did come back in some way. It's one of the pinnacles of like the old ways of streaming movies where it's like you have to rent them and like you didn't like have to buy them, you can just rent them, and like it just was this nice little store that you can just walk right into. uh it's sad. I just want Blockbuster to come back in some way, just like a remnant of my childhood. I want to smell the store again.
Yeah, remember that? Remember that
That
plastic smell?
smell,
Yeah,
yes.
that was a
Or like
great smell.
those weird DVDs that didn't look like regular DVDs. They felt like military DVDs.
Or when you would pick up some of the DVD things, they had like the plastic edges like totally fading away.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. And
You see the
I do have a question for you.
fingerprints.
Yeah, the fingerprint. You definitely caught something if you were like put your hand on a DVD case and then rub your eye. You caught everything.
Yeah, and then you take it home and then like you start getting sores on your lips.
Yeah, that happened.
Herpes.
Yeah. Yeah, Colin. I'm sure there's a story out there that something happened to that poor guy and I'm or girl. I'm so sorry.
Can't tell if it's snot or.
Okay, all right. That's you're done. You can't tell the difference, Colin. That's gross
All
for
right,
both
we'll
things.
start a game show and you tell me how easy it is.
It's not. Or it's on HBO Max. Okay. Thing is question, Colin.
Watch it, my
Colin,
browser.
stop it. I have a question for you. This is just I like throwing these on you last minute because I found this out not too long
Okay.
ago. When did you think? Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me. What year do you think Netflix stopped mailing out DVDs? Because that's how Netflix got started. Remember, they used to pick them out online. They ship it to you in the mail. You watch it and then deliver it back.
Well, didn't they still mail out DVDs, but they also had that streaming service
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had it for
at
a
the
while.
same time?
Yeah, yeah. So that question is,
Okay,
when was the last year they stopped delivering?
I got this.
Just give me a year.
23.
2013?
Yep.
Close. 2023. September 29th, 2023. Is they were still delivering DVDs.
Close. 10-year difference, dick.
I'm just saying it's closer than what I thought you were gonna say. Not that far, 10
Uh,
years. Ending a
wow.
25-year service, the company also automatically canceled DVD.com subscriptions on that date. But the streaming subscriptions were not affected. As a parting gift, Netflix allowed members to keep any disc they still had, and some subscribers also sent 10 surprise 10 DVDs. I think it's kind of interesting how they still kept out doing the physical media until 2023 because around that time Blockbuster was canceling the DVD stuff too. We'll get to your question in a second. Hold on. Blockbuster, not Blockbuster, Best Buy was ending their physical media sales of DVDs because now in the stores it's gone. There's nothing left. It's just all I think like video games and everything else they had, but there's no more DVDs. That is why I campaign every single time for buying physical media. Every time I can, I try because it's like something that's tangible. I don't have to ever get rid of. What was your question?
Thank you. So basically,
The handsome gentleman in the front.
yeah, move aside, bitch. She's talking about me. Hi. Um, so with their Netflix exclusive, like, it only drops on Netflix, do they have physical DVDs for that?
Yeah, some of them
Like
do.
movies like The Killer?
Uh, no, but I think Damsel did with Millie Bobby Brown.
Really?
Yeah, I think I saw
They
that
made a,
at
they
Walmart
made
the
a
other day.
dumbass DVD for that dog shit of a
Oh no, no, sorry,
movie.
no, sorry. They made a book. They made a book, they redid the book it was based off of with a
They
modern cover.
redid the book.
So the movie was based on a book, from what I remember, and then the movie came out, and then they just re-released the book with a modern cover,
Oh,
the thumbnail of the movie. Let me
I
go
thought
look
they just like, rewrote the book and it's like, let's just add more of our stuff in it.
it. No, but The Killer has not been yet released for a DVD or Blu-ray announcement yet. If anything, it's probably going to be going on like digital.
That would suck. I want a physical, dude. I want a physical like copy of that movie. It's so good.
I would love a physical copy of that movie because that movie was really good. But I also know that they
Really
have
good.
that was really good. I also know they
Really?
have a lot of physical media stuff, Netflix wise, because I have season one of Stranger Things on DVD, and the DVD is a cassette tape.
Hey, that's cool.
It's great You take it out of the little binder and it opens up and it's like the print of it and it's so cool. And I know they have a lot of stuff, like a lot of original movies and stuff like that, but not as much as I would think. I think if anything, Netflix, if they do physical media, I think that'd be great. But I think in actual reality of what's going on in the world, I think if anything, they should start doing digital releases for those movies. Like put their movies like The Killer on digital release so you can buy that if you want to own it. But the thing is, you're already paying for the Netflix subscription, so that makes no sense. You're just kind of wasting your money twice. So I don't know what the change is going to
Yeah.
be because if it also
Well,
we
it could
talked about
also just be for those people that it's like, hey, I don't want to like get a streaming service, but I want to watch this movie.
yeah.
Like, it'll be for those people.
Yeah, and not to say that that is not that's a low number. That's a very high number of people. And the thing is that I don't quite get what they're going to be doing with the Disney Plus Hulu thing because I remember some time ago we talked about I think it was the Spider-Man story that we or the Spectacular Spider-Man episode where we talked about the fact that Disney is going to be adding live channels to the Disney Plus thing where it's like at this hour for this thing it's going to be the shows which still doesn't make sense because if it's on this new streaming bundle thing, it just feels like you're trying to do so much in such little time. And
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing it out this summer, which is by the way, in 2 weeks is when summer starts.
As soon.
Yeah, it's as of today, it's May 25th, and so June is in a week.
Oh, dude, this year is dragging.
Dragging,
Not dragging, but like going by
rushing.
super fast. Yeah, rushing.
Are you dragging or are you rushing?
I don't know.
Are you dragging or are you rushing?
Rushing.
So you do know the answer.
I
Oh, the
like her
difference.
improv.
Whatever. Huh?
No, I like her improv. That was
I
good.
don't
That
know
was a
why
good.
I sounded more like Jeff Bridges than I did J.K. Simmons. Did you catch that? Whatever.
I no, I heard the JK.
I thought I sounded a little more Jeff Bridges like from Iron Man. Point is, summer's around the corner, which means we have a very special episode. I'm going to announce it at the end of the episode. And if the HBO Max, Disney Plus, Hulu thing does happen, they're going to have to really up the ante on that mature audience setting. Because like on Disney Plus now, I don't know if you know, they have that mature setting. You catch that?
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I've noticed quite a few movies that are like, wow, Disney, you're changing, you're growing.
Honestly, when I didn't know that the Disney merger and Hulu was happening so quick. So one day, I think it was our Guillermo del Toro episode, or it was the Michael Bay episode. I think. Oh no, who did Edge of Tomorrow? Because that's the movie I was trying to watch.
Wasn't that the guy that did The Incredibles?
No, it was not. Was it Brad Bird? No, I don't know why, but I remember trying to watch. Oh, it was a Guillermo del Toro episode because I was trying to watch Pacific Rim, and when I went on Google to find Pacific Rim, it said Disney Plus. I was like, what are you talking about? So when I clicked on Disney Plus and looked it up, so many other movies came out, like 12 Monkeys, Pacific Rim, Edge of Tomorrow, like Aliens. I was losing my mind because they didn't officially announce the Hulu thing yet. It was just slowly happening, I guess. And that totally caught me off guard. So for about 20 minutes, I just kept looking at other movies that were on there and I was blown away. So I don't know what's going on, man.
Uh, Disney won.
I mean, they can own everything, and they probably will at some point. I mean, but to the point of where streaming is, I don't know. It's such a weird concept because I believed at one point that the big three of streaming were going to be Apple TV, Hulu, no, not Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix. Those three, since they're pretty big now and they're self-producing and they got a lot of viewerships, I thought those things would become just their own individuals and everything else would bundle up. Because I can't even name 10 streaming services right now. Because you remember at one point there was like 107 or something? Like it was a streaming service for everything.
I don't know about 107, but there were a lot
Oh
of
my god.
like unnamed streaming services where I'm like, that's a thing.
Yeah, like Shutter.
Shudder is a little bit more well known. Those are for like the horror kind of movie people.
Oh, you're right.
I
Sorry. But by the way, I just Googled how many streaming services are there as of January of this year. There are over 200 available worldwide. I'm gonna go US based. See how many are there.
That is a little wild. Holy
I don't
shit.
know how. It's okay. There's so many. Point is, there's a lot, and I don't even understand because like Screen Junkies, the guys that did the Honest Trailers, they had their own for a while.
They have their own streaming service for what?
It was like they did self-produced content, other stuff that wasn't on YouTube. They had a lot of stuff that was still on YouTube, but it was like behind the
Just get
scenes
a
stuff.
Patreon.
Well, I think at the time it wasn't. I don't think Patreon existed at that point. This was back
I,
in like 2012, I think.
oh, okay, that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
this was like it just before they actually got bought out by Fandom Entertainment. That's what they were doing. They were like self-producing, and they had so many subscribers, and they had a lot of stuff. Because I've been rewatching a lot of movie fights lately. I
I
kind of
miss
miss
their
it.
drunk movie fights.
Those are great. And
It was awesome.
honestly, we might host our own one day. Maybe if Cameron and a bunch of our other friends come down one day, we'll probably host our own.
Guys, I'll make it sad. Please don't. Please don't invite me.
Well, you would be invited, but we're not going to be doing drunk if you're going to be fighting. We'll probably be fact checker for drunk movie fights.
Yeah, take a shot every time he mentions his dad. And
Okay,
then I
we're not
take a
we're
shot.
not dying of liver failure, Colin. Okay, that's it's a little.
I'm playing the long game.
Point is, I think streaming is getting a little out of hand now because the whole point was it was supposed to be avoiding cable, and now that Amazon switched from having no ads other than the ones that like Apple TV did that were self-producing and they were self-advertising their own stuff, which is fine. They now added ads for an additional $4 when was already ad free. So it was a little weird. And there was a lawsuit. I don't know if you caught that people were suing Amazon. They're like, you're making us pay for something we already had. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they had ad free for the longest time. Then they randomly announced, hey, we're going to be adding ads. You got to pay $4 more to get ad free. But everyone's like, I already had ad free.
Yeah.
So that was their whole lawsuit. And I think, I don't know. I don't know if it won or not. I don't know if it's in the air right now, but it's just, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I feel like I'm rambling.
No, you're good. I was just listening. Uh, did like the streaming services kind of just hurts my head where I really focus on the big four. I mean, I guess like big three because Disney and Hulu, they're like one and the same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Dude, you remember the time when like you just put on like, you put on the channel, it's like and they're advertising, hey, we're gonna or you see it on YouTube, hey, starting Fridays in June, we're gonna be showing this show. And then you're talking with your entire family, being like, "Hey, you want to check that out? That'll be good.
Yeah.
We'll just
DVRing.
we'll DVR it." Or, oh my
Like
God,
I remember at sometimes before I would leave for school, I would turn on the TV and go to a time of the day on a specific channel. Remember, because they would go to like
yeah,
days ahead, hit record, and then I would go to school. And then by the time I come back, it's already recorded. I'm like, I didn't miss it. And then when you turn it on at the wrong time and you caught 14 seconds of ads because you hit the wrong button. Do you remember that?
soul crushing, soul
Uh,
crushing.
dude, I remember like, great, new Teen Titans episode. And it's just in a McDonald's ad. Like I would just remember freaking out.
Young for whatever reason, when I was a kid, like you ever tune in on Saturdays to watch Young Justice?
Hmm?
You remember when like they I probably just didn't understand it, but I think it was like the cliffhanger or something like that where like Wally West dies and
Oh, yeah, vaguely.
so like the next week after that, like they on the description it shows like, episode like the next episode of that,
Yeah.
and then they would just do a rerun of like old episodes, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, because I
Like,
remember when the new episode would come out, they would follow it up by an old episode. It was like kind of the thing to keep you watching until next week.
yeah, no, 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 but I mean like that next week, like,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I only caught a few episodes of Young Justice, so that might have been a rerun for me. I
Um,
didn't watch it as really. I was too busy into
but
Beyblade.
basically, like, you were screwed. You can't
No,
just like pull it up on your phone or find like a streaming service, be like,
no.
hey, where can I watch this?
Well, it used to be
Like
on
a
the
little.
websites. Do you remember the websites? It was like cartoonnetwork.com, nickelodeon.com. You used to watch past episodes that way.
I only did that for the CW Flash.
I did that for Power Rangers Samurai when I was when I was younger, and I used to miss it.
Dude, Samurai was awesome.
Apparently, that's like in the Rangers community, not well received.
Yeah,
From
but
what I heard.
well, the Rangers community, you have to understand their kid shows.
I know. Now, I think there was one episode or one crossover with them in the TMNT.
What?
I think there was a Power. Hold on, that's the way. That's how we're gonna have to.
That sounds awesome.
Hold
I
on,
know there's a Power Rangers and DC one.
Yeah, it's called Shell Shocked, and it's where the Power Rangers and the TMNT had a crossover.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of because I know they had comic book crossovers, but this is like close to the movies, like prosthetic wear.
Wait, hold on. This isn't animation. It's live action.
This is legit, dude. This is not animation because they had the comic book crossovers a few times. I sent you the photo what I'm talking about, but it's legit. Like that canyon the Power Rangers would always somehow fight in, like whatever, like that salt mine is, and then the TMNT is just there and they're shaking hands. I have it on screen.
Awesome. Pink is like, woo!
Dude, Pink is having a ball. I never
Pink
noticed.
is a huge Turtles fan.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. It's so funny just to see. And as I remember that one Power Rangers crossover where all of them from all time joined into that one episode. And I thought it was
Yeah.
cool. But I don't know. Streaming service is a confusing game. I'm really glad we're not in it right now. And it's just. Did you just fart?
What?
Did you fart?
Oh no, that was my bed is squeaky. My brother's dog is on it. He just moved a little bit.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine. It happens.
I can give you an actual fart.
No.
Don't test me. You think there's any shame left in here anymore?
No, I know. That ended in 2012. Streaming service is getting weird, and I'm excited to kind of cover it and more as it's going on. I'm more excited also about Knives Out 3. So that'll about wrap up episode 17, Return to Cable, out here on the Tu-Vie podcast. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to check out past episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That's where we are. You guys can follow there. Season 3 has been a lot of fun. Personal favorite has been the Disney Infinity episode. That's kind of been where I'm super excited for next week's episode, if you can make it. I'm gonna try and get some people on here.
What's
Which
the
is
announcement?
huh?
You said there's going to be an announcement by the end of this episode.
This is right here. Our third annual Summer Hits episode. And that
Oh.
as of right, yeah, I'm super excited about that. As summer is beginning in a week. So by the time that episode goes out, summer is going to be beginning. We do what we normally do on that episode is give our top 5 biggest anticipations of the summer. And last year's has been my favorite because Collin's number 1 anticipated movie of the year last year was The Flash. It was The Flash. He was so confident. It's my favorite clip to go back and like my number 1 movie is The Flash. And I think just roll with me.
Go to hell.
I'm reposting it on our TikToks. Which by the way, it is our most listened to episode as of this date. It's our most listened to episode.
What, that one?
That one from Summer Hits from 2 years ago.
Why?
I don't know. Sorry.
We have
sorry.
better ones.
No, hold on. Summer Hits from 2 years ago. That was the first episode of I think that was the first Summer Hits episode we did. Let me double check that. Maybe it was. Hold on. 2 Summer Hits. Let me check. Yeah, no, sorry. That was that was not from a year. So that was almost 2 years ago. Our top 5 summer movies is the one where Collin is talking about The Flash, and it is truly so funny. Season 2, episode 12. So good. I love that one. Thank you guys again for watching. And also check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Letterboxd. We have a lot of fun reviews there. I just did the rewatch for the Planet of the Apes trilogy because Sophia got into it. She loves them now. Big fan. We're going to go try and see Kingdom in theaters before it leaves. Hopefully it's not in there like for 2 weeks like the Fall Guy was. Now it's going on digital in like a few days from now.
Fall Guy?
Yeah, Fall Guy.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was only in theaters for 2 weeks, which is not something
I know, but I'll still be renting it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be like $20 to rent it.
Really?
Yeah, I watched Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare last night. Super good movie. $20 to rent.
25 to buy.
Yep.
You could do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of money there. Like I said,
Uh,
check us out on the platforms, all in the description below, and we will see you guys next time.